Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin this afternoon as we are waiting for a Senate vote today on funding bills that would reopen the government. But at this hour, both Republicans and Democrats remain dug into their positions. And hanging in the balance now, hundreds of thousands of federal employees. Their jobs have been furloughed and threats by the Trump administration of mass firings if the shutdown continues. Natalie Brand has the very latest right now from the White House.
With shutdown impacts growing each day, the White House is piling on more pressure. This morning, the head of the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought, announced over $2 billion in Chicago infrastructure projects have been put on hold. That comes as the administration has threatened further cuts to agencies and mass layoffs if the shutdown continues.
It's likely going to be in the thousands.
This afternoon, Senate lawmakers are set to vote again on dueling measures with no word yet of a breakthrough.
At some point, reason, good sense, common sense has to take effect here.
Republicans insist on reopening the government first before negotiating over the enhanced health care tax credits that Democrats want.
They're hurting the American people. Let's find a bipartisan path forward, and let's address the Republican health care crisis.
The Republicans are being responsible. We're operating in good faith, and we're trying to get the Democrats to do their job, and they won't.
Hundreds of thousands of federal employees remain in limbo, worried about missing paychecks if the shutdown drags on for many days or even weeks.
What are they going to do for groceries? What are they going to do for gasoline and those type of things? The essential things that they try to provide for the families. That's what they are concerned about.
Food banks nationwide are preparing for increased demand, especially if money runs out for federal programs like WIC and SNAP, which provide food assistance to low-income families and children. There are concerns funding could lapse if the shutdown is prolonged. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And billions of dollars in clean energy funding are being cut by the Trump administration, and some of the hardest hit areas include Eastern Washington. Officials say the cuts have nothing to do with the government shutdown.
Our decisions have been made over the last few months. A team of 7 or 8 people have evaluated over 2,400 projects just on business conditions, whether it makes sense for the American taxpayers or not. So no, timing of announcements, I don't control that always, but these decisions are made all in the Energy Department, all based on facts.
$7.6 billion in grants are on the chopping block nationwide. $1.1 billion of that comes from Washington State. The White House claims the cuts are necessary, saying the Department of Energy found that 223 projects that were no longer viable. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson called the decision outrageous, saying it will lead to the loss of thousands of clean energy jobs. All right, it is 3 minutes past noon right now, and we are expecting clear skies through the weekend and some beautiful fall temperatures. It is been a little bit cooler than it was certainly a week ago. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick, he's in with our forecast.
It feels like just yesterday it was almost 100 degrees. Well, it would have been a month ago. Yesterday, we were still at 99 here in Spokane. Finally feeling like fall. And we've had some cloud cover, we've had some rainfall recently. Not today, though. A whole lot of sunshine overhead. We find ourselves in that nice, clear spot right through central and eastern Washington. Only a few leftover locations still hanging on to some of that extra cloud cover out towards the Palouse and towards Lewiston and into this region of north central Idaho. It will take a little bit to drag the clouds out of the region, but if you think about it, as the sun starts to move more into the western skies, we'll get more sunshine either way because that's the direction that the skies are certainly clear, even if it is a little cloudy overhead. Our current temperatures are sensational right now, right at 60 degrees here in Spokane, and we stay basically perfect for the fall season all weekend long. Mid-60s both days, sunny skies both days. What I'm focusing on, especially for next week, is how cold the nighttime temperatures will be, because we bottom out first thing in the morning, and we very well could have our first days in the 30s or our first days with some frost on the ground as we get a little bit deeper into the fall season. So coming up, I'm going to be tracking that and show you which days will be down into the 30s even here in Spokane.
The man known as the South Hill rapist is free today. Kevin Coe spent nearly 2 decades in civil commitment as a sexually violent predator. He spent that time in Pierce County. A Spokane County judge signed off on his release yesterday after the state attorney general's office said it could not meet the burden of proof to hold him any longer. Our sister station caught these pictures of Coe being transported off McNeil Island yesterday. Coe will now live at an adult family home in the Laurelwood area of Federal Way. A resident in the area says she does understand he has served his sentence, but there is still concern.
My kids come out and play. My sisters go out, and one of my sisters work out sometimes late. So coming in late and having a sex offender right next door, it's creepy.
Coe must now register as a sex offender. Seattle police arrested 3 people who they say kidnapped a Spokane man and then beat him. SPD says the group of 3 offered the victim a ride from Spokane to the Seattle area, and instead of dropping him off in Redmond, the suspects, they say, drove straight to Seattle. Police say they then demanded all of the victim's money and assaulted him. The victim was able to escape after police say the suspect stole more than $100 in cash along with his bag. Police tracked down the 3 suspects nearby, and they now sit in the King County Jail. All right, we're going to take a look now at a scene on the UW campus after a man stormed into a class making Nazi salutes and shouting insults at the professor and at the students. University police eventually did take him into custody, and officials confirm he is not a student. The man identified himself as Sam Polyak and says he came to troll it and admits that he is a neo-Nazi. Video captures students booing and pushing him out of the class. Polyak says he was pepper sprayed, spit on, and left with cuts and bruises before campus police stepped in and detained him. Polyak says he regrets his actions, but students say his apology is not accepted.
I do believe he fully intended to say he meant what he said. Even if it was trying to just get a reaction out of people, that's still not okay. And really, I can't accept that.
And right now, criminal charges are pending with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office.